Hi guys, it's Destiny. So we are going to go ahead and have this conversation about 12 Years a Slave. I put it off for eons now watching because movies like that are extremely heavy for me. I carry them for a long time. I see them in my sleep. It's a lot for me. And so intentionally I did not watch it. Not that I wasn't interested in supporting the movie, I just knew it was going to be really, really heavy for me. So I tried to watch it probably about a month ago. I made it 3 minutes in. Solomon was still learning how to shuck cane before I turned it off. I just couldn't. Too much for me. So fast forward to now. I saw the movie completely sweep the award shows. I, of course, saw plenty of reviews, and I was aware of all the accolades that the cast was getting from other producers and directors and actors. So I said, okay, Destiny, let's sit up straight, tighten your bra straps, and watch the movie. So I started watching it. I will not give any spoilers to the movie, so if you're watching this, this is just really going to be my opinion, my overview, an opinion based on an overview of the movie, but I'm not going to tell anything. But I will say this: if you have not seen it, I urge you to watch 12 Years a Slave. And this is coming from somebody who is a crybaby. I have had people tell me I cry when water boils. And it's true. I'm a crybaby. I get it from my mama. I think I laughed at her for too long about it. And now I've inherited waterworks for tears. And it's just not one lone, real cute tear. It's the ugly cry. And I was doing the ugly cry. So I started the movie and immediately was gut-wrenched to find out that Solomon was a free man and was transported to a slave state under false pretenses and was 12 years a slave. That alone messed me up. Do you hear me? I mean, messed me up. Like, it had me with palpitations in my heart, and I had a headache because I was thinking, how can you do that? Like, and he wasn't the only one. I know this wasn't the first and only time that somebody was tricked into a situation to be completely blindsided, and you were free just yesterday. And 12 years later, you've been a slave. It was heavy. It was hard to watch. And every single character, every single person that had a speaking role in this film had a story to tell. And they did a great job in letting you get pieces of each character's story. Omar, well, let me not call this man Omar. What is his real name? Hold on, because I have the actors in front of me. Michael K. Williams, Omar from The Wire, is in this film, and I was shocked because I didn't even know who all was in the cast. I'm telling you, I've been running from this movie like it was Candyman, okay? Because I just knew it would haunt me, and it is a haunting film. But Chiwetel Ejiofor and Lupita Nyong'o played their roles so well that it even felt like you were watching you know when they do documentaries where you actually have a camera crew following someone's real life. No, I'm not going to call it reality because clearly reality these days is not reality. But this was literally Solomon Northup's reality. And I felt like I wasn't looking at actors. I felt like I was watching Patsy and Solomon on a plantation. And it was crazy how intricate the detail was to these characters and their stories, and making you feel like you were there. I will tell you this, that make sure I get his name right. Michael Fassbender, who played Epps, Master Epps. I hate and hated Epps and his wife. Both of them can dig their own graves as far as I'm concerned. They played those roles so well, though. I felt like I was looking at Master Epps and his wife, because they became those slave owners. And it was disgusting, the things that they did and the ways. I can't say it was disgusting the way they treated a slave, because having a slave in itself is disgusting. But I'm sure that you kind of understand what I'm trying to say. Because the very first slave owner, let's not get his name incorrect, Benedict Cumberbatch. You have quite the name, sir. But he played Master Ford. I think what made me hate Epps and his wife even more is how the Ford plantation treated their workers. And see, I'm even trying to clean it up now. Treated their slaves, not workers, like they were working for a wage. But it was such a dynamic, and it just showed, how people are bought and sold with these debts. And at that point, we were a piece of property. We were a moving piece to a puzzle. And however you made it to the end of the day, that's between you and your master, because nobody else was studying you. Nobody else really cared what you was going through, because they already had their own problems. They had their own set of slaves, per se, to deal with. You saw the plantation that Alfre Woodard's character was on. I can't remember the Shaw plantation. Alfre Woodard was... she had such a dynamic role to have been in the movie for such a short period of time, on how the truth to that is, and the things that she said regarding her character and these slave owners, and how eventually they would do penance for what they did. Such a phenomenal role she played. But Lupita Nyong'o, she is Patsy. I didn't see anything other than this person, Patsy. And I felt like she embraced her character so much that there's no shadow of doubt in my mind now if she was going to get her Oscar. Of course, in hindsight, being 2020, she had that she just should have walked on up when they were announcing people and just grabbed her Oscar, because she played her role so well. I loved Gravity, but I couldn't have seen Sandra Bullock getting that Oscar. I couldn't. But neither here nor there. So, as far as Chiwetel Ejiofor, he was Solomon. He was Solomon. And two, I have not seen Matthew McConaughey's film yet to say whether or not I think he was robbed, or anything. I'm not going to go that far and say, because he swept at so many other awards, and this is a big prestigious award for actors, and this is the one that, not that really matters, but that really matters. And he did such a phenomenal job playing Solomon that in itself the role was a reward, and carried its own award, because he solidified his place in history as an actor in a phenomenal film with this performance. This was amazing. He did an amazing job, and his character had such an education, and he had to hide that. This was a free man. This was a man that was regarded amongst peers. He was seen as an asset to his little corner of society in New York amongst whites. So for him to be snatched back into slavery, he showed all of those emotions that go along with that. Now, once he made it to the Epps plantation, he came in contact with, what was his character's name? Hold on. Work with me, sorry. I have to have my phone in front of me because I'll get all these names wrong. Armsby. for a character that was in the movie for so short a period of time, Armsby, he embodied a whole lot of truth to the lack of trust that there was with a slave in discussing anything with anybody. You know, this was a free man, and he felt like, you know, I'm going to give you what you're looking for, which is money to get where you're going if you just, you know, do this one thing for me. And that thing could not be done. And so it was disgusting, the nature of Armsby's character, but too much, okay? This movie was phenomenal, and don't let it discourage you from going to see it. It is heavy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to compare Django and 12 Years a Slave, I really don't, but Django gave you some comedic points to it. It tried to lighten the mood a little bit in areas, just to try and break up the emotion that you're feeling. 12 Years a Slave does not do that. There's not one ha to this movie. There is nothing funny. There is nothing that's even worth a chuckle in this movie at all. And I can understand now when people said they were sitting in the theaters and the atmosphere was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I bet. I bet. I don't even think you could cut it with a knife. You probably would have needed an axe if I was in the theater, because it was just really, really, really heavy. But it was beautifully done, beautifully shot. Not to downplay Django now, make me clear. I can watch Django again, though. I could see Django again. I've only seen it once, but if someone else wanted to see it and we were going to have a conversation about it afterwards, I wouldn't mind seeing Django again. 12 Years a Slave, I'm not seeing again. Once was enough, and I couldn't even watch it through and through because I made it up until Armsby's character last night and I had to turn it off. It made me so mad and so angry, and so much emotion was flowing through me that I had to turn it off. And I finished watching it today, but please go watch it. I know a lot of people were just like me and they said, you know what, it's too much for me. I can't watch this. This is too heavy. This is too thick. I'm not ready. Just rip off the Band-Aid and just watch it, because it is that film that it's etched in history. It's not a wavering film. It's nothing that this is going to eventually die down. It is a film that needs to be seen. It was a story that needed to be told. This is based on a true story. Solomon Northup wrote a book. He put that book out in the 1800s and late 1800s, and this, to my understanding from people who actually read the book, because I did not read the book, so I'm not speaking from personal knowledge, but I am telling you based on things that Morehouse brothers of mine have said and Spelman sisters of mine have posted, and other people in education and educators alike have said that this movie is about 90 to 95% accurate to what was written in the book. And considering that was Solomon Northup's story in the book, that says a lot about this film, and that made it that much more important and necessary. So please go see 12 Years a Slave. If you've seen it, leave it in the comments below. Tell me what you thought. We can continue this conversation in the comments, but this was what that film did to me. I probably won't go out in public for another couple days because I'm a little bit bitter. I'm a little bit ugly on the inside, so I'm not going to carry that out into society because it's nobody's fault. But it leaves you feeling a certain type of way, and that emotion is something that I think needs to be felt. We can't be this far disconnected from slavery and things that happened in this country, on this land, that we can't see it. We don't want to watch it. We just want to turn a deaf ear to it. That's not that's not doing due diligence and justice to those that went through what Solomon Northup and Patsy went through. So please let me know what you think. I'm glad to be back. I always say I'm back and then I disappear for a couple months. Judge me not, please, because I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. It's just I don't want to feel like I'm capitalizing on so much negative stuff. So many negative things have happened in the past year that I don't want to continue only talking about these horrible, horrid things. But I've also come to understand that these things are happening. So again, just like turning a deaf ear to this story, I can't turn a deaf ear to the things that are going on as to say they're not happening. So hopefully I'll stick around and I'll be back and I'll be talking about all the things that are just like me to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully I didn't give anything away. Maybe with the Armsby situation a little bit, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a movie about slavery. You can't trust everybody. So I don't think I gave no big to-do away. So let me know what you thought. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.